In 1992, Pepsi promised to change lives in the Philippines with a simple contest. All you had to do was check under the bottle cap. One number could make you rich, but one mistake, one three-digit number, would spark riots, lawsuits, and leave 5 people dead. This is the true story of the Pepsi number fever disaster. The Philippines in the early 90s was a competitive battleground for soft drinks. Coca-Cola was king, and Pepsi was struggling to keep up. So in February 1992, PepsiCo launched what they thought was a genius marketing campaign, Number Fever. Bottle caps had a 3-digit number from 001 to 999 printed underneath. Every night, the popular news show TV Patrol announced a winning number. Small prize was 100 pesos, around $4 at the time, while the grand prize was 1 million pesos, around $40,000, enough to buy a house. It was simple, it was exciting, and it was working. Pepsi's market share in the Philippines jumped from 19% to nearly 25%. Sales skyrocketed from $10 million to $14 million a month. People were buying Pepsi in bulk, not for the drink, but for a chance at the life-changing number under that cap. The campaign was designed to have just 2 grand prize winners per number, thanks to a special security code printed alongside it. But on May 25, 1992, something went terribly wrong. That night, TV Patrol announced the grand prize number, 349. Across the Philippines, screams of joy erupted. Families hugged, neighbors cheered. But there was a catch. Due to a massive printing error, between 600,000 and 800,000 caps had the number 349. These caps did not have the official security code, but most people didn't notice or didn't care. To put it simply, Pepsi had accidentally created hundreds of thousands of millionaires, at least in their minds. And the prize money to pay them all? Over $32 billion pesos, billions of US dollars, an impossible sum. The next morning, Pepsi's bottling plants were surrounded. Thousands of people showed up, demanding their 1 million pesos. Inside, executives scrambled. They couldn't possibly pay everyone. So they came up with an offer, a goodwill payment of 500 pesos, around 18 US dollars, for each 349 cap. Pepsi budgeted around $9 million to cover these consolation payments. Some accepted, many refused, feeling cheated. Media coverage turned public opinion sharply against Pepsi. The situation spiraled. In the coming days, protests erupted outside Pepsi factories across the country. People smashed bottles in the streets. Trucks were pelted with rocks. Some protesters even set up roadblocks, refusing to let Pepsi deliveries pass. The anger didn't stay peaceful. It became dangerous, violent, deadly. In Manila, a homemade bomb thrown at a Pepsi truck bounced off and exploded nearby, killing a schoolteacher and a 5-year-old girl. In Davao, a grenade was thrown into a Pepsi warehouse, killing 3 Pepsi employees. Pepsi executives started receiving death threats. Some had to leave the country. By the time the dust settled, at least 5 people were dead. Hundreds more were injured. And a simple marketing contest had turned into one of the most infamous corporate disasters in Philippine history. The legal war began. Over 22,000 people joined protests. Thousands filed lawsuits, 689 civil suits, over 5,000 criminal complaints. But in 2006, after more than a decade of court battles, the Philippine Supreme Court ruled in Pepsi's favor. The company did not have to pay the million peso prizes for bottle caps without the security code. Pepsi did pay minor fines for administrative mistakes. Their reputation, however, was permanently scarred. In 1993, Pepsi Philippines even won an IG Nobel Peace Prize, satirically awarded for uniting people in common hatred. The Pepsi number fever disaster is remembered not just as a corporate blunder, but as a lesson in how one mistake, multiplied by hundreds of thousands, can ignite chaos. For some, it's a story of greed, both corporate and human. For others, it's a tragedy that turns celebration into mourning. And it all came down to 3 little numbers, 349. So next time you see a contest promising life-changing riches, remember, sometimes the fine print matters more than the number on the cap.